Hi, and welcome to my little craft corner. I am Tabby, and today we will continue with ABC April 2026. For today, it is Friday. I will continue with the letter I, and I was coming up with index cards for I. So, if you want to know anything about this challenge, who came up with, I will link it down below in the description box, and we will just start with our projects or what I came up with for today. As I said, I want to do something with index cards, and I have, let's say, a lot, and I just got a few over here, like smaller ones, taller ones in different colors, and I've also got a few without any lines and a few that are already dyed with some coffee. So I have at least 3 projects in mind with some flowers, butterflies and mushrooms. And my idea for today was like let's say a collector of some flora and fauna themed things, and yeah, I think it's easier to show than to explain, but I will go with maybe a little bit of stenciling, stamping, a bit of watercolor, collaging with napkins and tissues, and whatever will come into my mind on the go. So I think, no longer talking, let's just start with my ideas. Okay, first thing I want to do is like create a tab. So let's see. First I want to do a notch, and I think I want to start with my tab on the left, maybe like this. So this will be my tab, and then I will just cut off the remaining part here, and I will align my ruler with this kind of a valley of my notch, and then just cut it. So that's the first thing I want to do, and then I want to round my corners. So what I have in mind is not like crafting a completely different project from this index card, but more using it in kind of its original purpose. Okay, for stamping, first of all I want to stamp this flower, and I will use Distress Ink Black Soot. I don't know how well it will turn out, as these distress inks not really meant to be for stamping, but more for like yeah, distressing, like inking edges and things like that. But let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, I have to say these are not the best stamps in the world too, but it's fine, because I want to do a few labels here and there and a little bit of script stamping all around, so I think it will turn out fine. So, another thing I wanted to do was, like, I want to tell on this index card something about this plant, like where it grows, which colors it has, and having a little bit of an explanation about it, whatnot, the size, the name. So the idea is a little bit like creating an ID card for a plant, a mushroom, a mushroom, a butterfly, you know where I'm going with this idea. So this is a tiny globe stamp. Oh, but no. Because I was thinking about using napkins, and I wanted to use them like a little bit around the corner, so I have to start with the napkins tissues. So give me a second. So either I want to use this napkin with some feathers, or this tissue paper with butterflies, and I think I might use the one with the butterflies, since it has a little bit more color and also a bit of a script. So in case you don't know how to get off these layers, so these are pretty simple. Mostly they are made of 3 or maybe 4 layers. Really cheap ones are made of 2 layers, but you can just put a piece of Scotch tape down, and then you can rip off these layers, because we only want to have the layer where you really have the picture on. And I always keep them because you can create nice things out of it, and I think I also have something in mind to do with it. Okay, and then I will just tear it down. You can also use some for example, just water, like a brush and some water, if you want to get out your images more precisely and not just ripping it apart. But for me it's fine like that. So let's see. So I will have this maybe over here. So I don't want to cover all the edges completely with the napkin, but just here and there a few pieces. Maybe on the top of it, but maybe not this huge butterfly, because our focal point should clearly be this flower. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think that's fine. And now I just want to get off this a bit. Okay, and I want to have just a stripping over here. Yeah, so something like that. And I will take my glue stick, because I think it will dry much faster than having some PVA glue or whatnot. And it's, in this case, just easier to apply. Let's have a little bit more on the, let's have it a little bit higher. Okay. And this is, of course, just for me. If I would do it for example, selling or gifting it to another person, I think I would go with the PVA glue, because I don't know how much I trust glue sticks with napkins or tissues. So, but if I'm only crafting for me to keep it in my memory keeper, for example, like my art journal, or it's like a combination of an art journal, memory keeper, whatnot, that's fine for me. Because if it gets loose, I will just attach it later, but I will rip off this little part over here. So I try to stay within 1 hour of crafting. For today, and see where it will take me. So how many projects or how many index cards I can get done in this time. Yeah. Okay. I want to have this a little bit more. Okay, it is down. Down is down, so I cannot move it anymore. So if it is completely dry, I will just remove everything that's off the edges, but for now I will just leave it to dry a little bit more, and then I can continue with my stamping. So as I said, I want to stamp this little globe. Maybe? I don't know. There. I hope it is the wrong way, the right way on. Because I thought it might be nice just to mark here where all these, or where these flowers are growing in the world, for example. So that's the idea behind that. And then I thought, let's see. Okay, next step for me is to just stencil the tiniest bit. Like, this might be not the cleanest idea, index card, so it is just a little bit of splattering and just to give it a little bit of a vintage used look. Clear. I think I have a lot of inks on here, but that's fine. I think with all the stamping and stuff, you won't see it so super clear. Just going over it without the stencil a bit. And of course, this should be a nice, let's call it an identification card for this flower. And on the back you will have the journaling space remaining. So yeah, that was the idea. Yeah, and by the way, I'm using antique linen for this. Okay, and now I want to use a few labels, I think, and do a bit of stamping. I came up with a few options as labels for these projects. Okay, first I think I'm going to use something like this or this. I think I want to use this label. Okay, give me a little bit more room, please. So I am pretty sure that this is not really belladonna, but I thought it might be a nice idea to have this over here, or maybe just the bella. Yeah, why not? Why not? So we already have the name for our tab. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure to use that. So let's start with my script stamp, why not? And for this I want to use VersaFine Clair Twilight. So it's a bit like, yeah, right side up. Somebody wrote something with a little bit of ink. Let's use this to protect my desk. Because of course we need some information. And oh yeah, that's nice. I don't want to have this a super see, it's more like it has faded away over the time, so it's not super clear, not super crisp. Yeah, I think that's okay. So let's glue down our label. Okay, a glue page is my friend, so Maybe I shouldn't glue on my project. I don't want to ruin it. Okay, here we have our label. Okay, I want to try. So this stamp's name is, or what this stamps is the name of remitter, but I want to have name on here only. So let's see if I can do that. Looks okay. Please don't drop. Yeah, okay. And then let's say, so I don't have so many stamps with some names on it, so I just come up with a few things. Let's say the name is Violet, but in blue, so the description might be in blue. So let's see. Only from this point on. No. No. Had to look for my baby vibes. Always not in the place where I want to have them. Or where I look for them at least. Okay. This crooked. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Maybe I pressed a bit too hard, but okay. So could you, or I hope you can see the idea where I'm going with this. So let's see. I had a few ideas in mind. Yeah, so I thought I want to like swatch the, let's pretend this flower might have different colors of the blossoms, or the blossoms of these flower might have different colors wherever it might appear. So I want to do some swatches over here. Of these colors. For this I want to use my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, but I will just use them as normal pencil since, let's see, I'm not sure if this one is waterproof. Oh no, it's permanent, so I could also use water on it. So let's see, I think it blooms maybe in this color. And then more intense in this color. Yeah. And totally unexpected in yellow. Why not? So it's just a little bit of a fake writing. Okay. And then I can also go in with these, let's take green. And so we're just marking, oops, the spots. It doesn't have to make sense. At least for me, it doesn't have to make sense. Okay, so now I have my color swatches, so to say, and maybe we have the let's say that's the Latin name of this flower we wrote down, and we might came up with the size. Yeah, why not? I came up with some stems for the size. So let's say So the most flowers, of course, have a kind of a range. Not every flower grows the same size as the other one, I think. That's a bit tall, but oh my gosh, okay, that's a lot. I don't know, I think I just press too hard sometimes. Let's say these are millimeters, so we won't have giant flowers. Still a taller one though, but yeah. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, I thought maybe we have some more things to write down later. Yeah, I think that's better. To have more like a second generation or third generation stamp. But it is what it is. So, okay. What I wanted to create right now is kind of a specimen we can have over here. So like a little specimen card. Maybe he found some blossoms or leaves or whatnot, so he or she really collected over here, and so we can glue down this specimen card and don't have only the drawing and the information, but just a few pieces of the flower itself. What do you think? And maybe we are telling... Let's do this part first. Maybe we're telling when and where we found it. Should we? Should we? But with a label or with a stamp? I think. Let's say we found it. Oh yeah, let's take, since we're in ABC April, let's say we found it in April. I want to have this information on, the top. Yeah. Okay. So let's get out what I wanted to have for the specimen card. Then I want to get out a little bit of like a brush with a little bit of water to, yeah, since this is a permanent marker, I can use the water on it. So yeah, let's do it like that. Let's take you with me a bit. So I had the idea to take these as my leaves he or she found. This is a bit more like a background decoration idea, and this might be part of the flower itself. So with this fabric, these tiny blossoms, thought that might look cute, and either I take this one as a specimen card and have a few of those, so I don't know what matches. I think I want to have this one that matches nicely, and then I want to bring in like this one. So I don't want to close it completely, so you can fold it open, and then I want to cut off one of these adorable blossoms. So this is kind of my specimen I want to collect. Yeah. I could also close it. Why not? Why not? Do I want to have this story as a background? I'm not sure. I think it pops a bit more, but maybe not having the actual doily part looking through. Yeah, I think I will do it like that. So just cut this down a bit, have it over here. So I just want to see. Yeah. Now I cut it too short, but I think it could work maybe. And then have this over here. this in here. So these are the things I want to collect for it, or I collected for it. Yeah, I think I will do it like that. I just need, a bit of some acetate, and then I will just glue it down. Okay, I already glued down my window, so to say, and my doily. By the way, this doily I just created from some wallpaper with a die cut. So now we'll just cut everything off here. And now we have our things we collected. Yeah, why not? Yeah, maybe like that. So we'll also glue down this. And that was also a die cut, or is a die cut. I think, or I'm pretty sure it is by Sizzix by Sizzix and Tim Holtz. And I think the set is called Wildflower. And for the flower itself, I only want to give a little bit of glue in the middle, because otherwise I think, since it is transparent, I would see the glue. Is it upside down? Yeah, I had it upside down. So of course I will glue the back side down and not the front. Let's say that never happened. Okay, and then I will have it over here, like this specimen. Yeah, but I think it's better to glue it shut. But do I want to have a label? That's the question. Since it is so tiny, let's see when I cut this down. I will link all my labels down below in the description box. Oh, I forgot. Why did I have blue on here? Oh, it's black. I don't know. I thought it would be brown. Yeah, I think I won't have the label here. Okay, back to what I was starting with. I will link down below every kit that I used for my labels. Oops. But this one I stamped a bit more over here. Yeah, perfect. A little more. It's not the way I want to have it. Yeah, that sometimes a millimeter matters. Let's also do some glue over here. Wait, why not? Yeah, okay. I will let it dry completely and then we'll cut off these tiny bits sticking out here. Okay. But until then, I want to tidy up this chaos over here and then I will be back. I am back. I just cut around the edges to get off all the excess of the napkin or tissue paper, I think it was. Now I will take my watercolor brush. So you can see a little bit of the transformation if you work with these watercolor pencils. And it is kind of magic, right? You're using a pencil and then it looks like watercolor. So, yeah, I like that look a bit better. I won't do it carefully, because this ink is not waterproof. Yeah, okay, leave it like that. I just used a new dome. Why not? I think I want to use gathered twigs to ink the edges. And I'm still not really happy with these huge or really visible stencil marks over here. I've got the feeling that this paper just soaks up ink really well, and that's why also the stems don't come out pretty clear. I don't know. Haven't worked with these index cards for the longest time. And you don't have to stay in a nature themed way or topic. You can use it wherever you want to. Okay, this will be part where my specimen will go. Oops. Hello. Maybe I can get around this as well. Maybe have a bit of a stamping on this specimen card. Should we? Yeah, we should. So I want to use field label. Oh, that is too big. Great that I tested that out before. Okay, second try. Let's do it like that. Like field and then label. No, 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 no. And whatever is here on the top also. No, no, no. Okay. So this paper is a bit textured. So yeah, might be not the easiest way to stamp. But it's okay if it's not crisp. Be great to have it aligned, or I do it completely off. So it is intentional and not like, yeah, that's a better way to do it. Because I don't know if I would be, if would be the possibility to do it completely aligned. Let's do this one again. Choop, 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 choop. Yeah. And maybe something over here. Let's see. So let's have this one, but not completely, only this part. Doop, doop, doop. More ink, please. Okay. Why not using my stamping pad? Would be a great idea. Oh, I think it's not in the center. No, it's okay. It's okay. And then I want to glue it down over here. And the last thing I want to do first of all is to get my glue to work. Is like stamping with my splatter stamp. Of course, what would I have been without that? I have to clean this tip, this finer tip, this metal tip, but Who has time for that? I need to craft and do videos. I don't have time to do it. Oh, come on, don't annoy me. Yeah, just more pressure. Okay, maybe it's a little much. So, but I just, since it is so textured, I'm not sure how well it will stick down. So more is more in that case. And of course, we did a little bit of research and found out that this is a beautiful flower that always attracts butterflies. So that's why we want to have, or why we had these butterflies in the first place, of course. It's not like that I just came up with it the last couple of minutes. No. That was planned from the beginning. Maybe have it over here. Over here? Oh, that's too tall. Too far. Maybe he's flying like that. Or maybe he's sitting here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Oh. I think that's enough. Have it on the label. Yeah, why not? Ta-da! So we also know it is for butterflies and bees. Okay. And yeah, what did I say? Yeah, my splatter stamp. Let's move it over here. Okay. And I want to use walnut stain for my splatters, nothing like black or this blue. That's way too intense for my liking, at least. Yeah. So splatters everywhere. Okay, I think I am done. Yeah, so I think I will leave it like that. Sometimes I go in later and glue something here and there, but it is okay to have a few open spots, otherwise it would look completely cluttered, I think. Found another spot that I didn't glue down properly. Okay. Yeah, leave it like that and move on to our next project and our next index card. Okay, next I wanted to use this one. It is curling up because I cleaned my mat and it is a little, or it's not dry. So I wanted to use this one. It has a super bright color, so that's a bit much for my liking. So of course I have to mute that down a little bit. Okay, I think I will go in with gathered twigs, more like a brown. So I want to have kind of these spots, but if you don't want to have it, just move. And then in the move, you reach your paper. Otherwise you will always get these markings of these brushes. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's see how far we will get with this. So for this one I thought about mushrooms, and I will also create a tab. Here's my knife, and here's my ruler, and most important, here is my corner. Oh no, I don't need the corner around it, I need the notch. I want to do it on the left side this time. Okay, goodbye. Is that straight? Oh my gosh. I hope. So. And I want to round my corners again. Okay, this time. Oh, what? Wrong. Don't want to make another notch. We want to round the corner, please. Okay, I just inked the back off camera because I thought you don't have to watch me inking all the time, right? Okay. Now I think I don't want to do anything with a napkin or something like that, but I want to use a few stickers, and I thought something like these, more brownish leaves and ferns for a mushroom. So let's say it is surrounded by that, or it was surrounded by this, or was, you know what I mean, I hope. Yeah, and of course it depends a bit on the size of your index card, how much you can do on it, or sometimes it might be a little bit easier to fill a smaller space, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, maybe have this fern over here too. So yeah, if you think, or if you want to start easier, maybe just take a smaller index card, or maybe you have so many ideas what should be on this card, so then go for it and take a taller one. I just wanted to show you both options, I think. Yeah, maybe having this in the middle, great. And I think that would fit really well for a nature themed journal where you can use these index cards like, oops, yeah, like journaling cards. So I think that's a nice idea, having this one over here. Yeah, like this. Yeah. But as I said, you can choose every topic. Like I also thought about something like a sewing theme. Okay, here I am back with my mushroom stamps. I think I want to go with this one. Yeah, because it's the tallest one. Where's my stamping pad? I don't know. No time for. Ah, it's here. Or do I want to use... I think I want to use fallen leaves. So, back again with fallen leaves. Just add it on top. So it's a combination of fallen leaves and... No! Unbelievable. Yeah, that's okay. Now we need a little bit more of this smudging business. So it looks more like intentional. Oh, why not? It's not. Yeah, it's okay. It is waterproof. Oh. Yeah, I have to clean that later. Now, again, we want, of course, to have the name on it, but we will stay to fallen leaves now. Oops. I think it's easier to just do it like that and then get the rest off than to try it on the stamp pad to have it completely, to have it exactly. So the name will be over here this time, since this mushroom is much smaller. Okay, and we will just write down a fake writing name, and we will add, of course, the Latin name. Okay. Okay, also add this. And of course, it is a mushroom, and this one is a poison one, so we need kind of a warning. I thought might be a good idea. And I have a few of these apothecary labels, and I think this one says pretty clear it is poison. Stay away from it. Don't eat it. Or move this one? No, I like this one more. It is poison. Beware. Or maybe this one. That, yeah, can clear it up later. Sorry. So just quickly want to ink around it. And then just need to glue it down. Where's my glue page? Underneath everything. My desk is so cluttered again. It keeps, I don't know, with all these stamp sets and whatnot. Here. Yeah. Poison. Beware. Okay. Then let me think about it. Yeah, of course, we also need a day that we found our mushroom. And maybe also where we found it. Maybe this time. Or maybe, oh, this might be nice over here, this label. So it's like the number of this mushroom. Maybe we don't know the name of it, so we just gave it a number. Why not? Why not? Okay. Perfect. We don't have the date, but now I have at least something for our tab. Yeah, that looks nice. I like it. I like it. Let's see. I had a label that said 1910. Or maybe we found it in Canada. 1938. Let's do it like that. And we need to stamp our globe, of course. I think I want to do it the same way that I did it with the flower. Here we have this one. Again, I will use some fallen leaves. Now we will do it over here. Doesn't have to be on the top always. Okay. And then we need our watercolors again. Of course, in this case, we won't have variations in colors, I think. But we still need to tell it's up here. I don't know. I don't care. It's just for having fun. And I, of course, can have some water over it, because fallen leaves is also waterproof. So these VersaFine. Okay, now the mushroom spread it in really far. So all these VersaFine clays are also waterproof. Okay, yeah. But let's say like let's say the top is like red. Yeah, I need this one. And I think it's not called stem for a mushroom, but I don't know what it is called, so I call it the stem. And then I need this one. Okay, so we have a little bit more information about our mushroom. Of course, you can stamp that, scribble that, so yeah, whatever you like to do. I want to do a little bit more of my script stamp. Goodbye. This is not my script stamp. This is my script stamp. And oh, we could also do this one. So like destination underneath here, but yeah, that's tall. Let's see if that will work. Still go with fallen leaves, but not inking all of it. Yeah, and I want to have more like a second generation stamp. So let's pretend the person was adding more and more information. Okay. Yeah. Now I can use my splatter stamp. And again, on the back you can journal. So we will only decorate the front. Well, it is blending in a lot. Like fallen leaves appears really dark on here, and I have this one. So maybe let's just try. I don't know if this will work out. Gosh. So let's take some blue, maybe. Just want to go over these fake writings. So we have a little bit more of variation over here. Yeah. Yeah, gets a little bit more of color, a little bit more color. And it might be also a good idea to just work with the labels over here, like blank labels, like that, and then just write on it, so it pops up a bit more. So let's just try it. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I just try. I cut it down. It is just a label. I can print it out again and again. Choop, choop. So I think I'm not the person for making tutorials, right? Could I cover this completely? Yeah, maybe we thought it is one mushroom, but then we found out it is completely a different one. So we had to correct that, right? Okay, it is now a whatever. Yeah, I think that adds a bit of something. And I also want to do a specimen card for this one. So let's clear my space again and then I'll be back. I am back and I had a few ideas. So I want to use this as my collection for the specimen, and we found this mushroom, and let's say we dried it, and we found also this leaf. So both of it will be in here. And this time I'm pretty sure I don't want to really completely close it. I will glue down my leaf first. Do it like that. And then my mushroom. Okay, we have it down here. The leaf needs to be more over here, I think. Okay. Okay, have it like that. So, okay. On the back, I wanted to say that use this specimen stamp, so to say that's in good condition and who was collecting it and where it was located and what it is. So if however I would lose this card and only would be with this specimen card, so I still would know who collected it, when, and so on and so. So we'll do this on the back. It's not perfect, but that's fine. Okay, and then I wanted to have in the front this sticker. Have it over here. And then I want to add this number, like a number 6. Maybe it's our 6th mushroom we found. Okay, now it's fallen leaf. Just ink around the edges. Great. Or maybe it's a 9, it's on the other side. No, it should be a 6 on this side. I just will use my glue stick, guys, so I think that will work. Okay. Oops. Well. I also wanted to use this number. I don't know why, but I smudge it all the time today, so maybe a bit more. Okay, and then I also want to have this one on here, like so. Maybe I just open it up, so good by. Also on the other side. Okay. And then I need my splatter stamp. Like this. Okay, that's enough. Maybe a bit on here, just a bit. Okay, now it's enough. But we need some ink on our edges, of course. I think I won't ink the inside and would leave it like that. And now, because I don't want to cover our globe here, I have to come up with an idea. Maybe I will take a bread so you can move it around. Yeah, I think I will do that. Okay guys, I am back. I just finished this card up with this bread and I attached this specimen card like that so I can flip it around, and if I want to I could also open it up, because this is more like this is perforated. I think it's not made for specimens, but I don't care. So let's pretend he's not ready. So he found some pieces of this mushroom or is looking for a few more pieces and just want to add a few things. So that's why we won't close that. Okay, so now we have our card for our mushroom with some information. Of course, super important that it is poison, where we found it, and where you could find this kind of a mushroom. And here we have the much smaller one with this flower, and like the same idea, but just did it with a napkin. You can also add a little bit more of napkin all around here, maybe also in the middle, wherever you want to. I just wanted to leave it like that. Yeah, so I hope you liked my idea for this day's ABC April with my index cards, without like completely cover the index card, but more like using the original idea of it. And if you have more ideas like that, just tell me in the comments. I'm really curious about it. And yeah, we will see each other at next Tuesday with the letter L. So I will be back on Tuesday with ABC April. And until then, I hope you will enjoy to be part of this challenge. And I wish you a crafty day. See you soon. Bye, guys.